They voted me out of my own family holiday. I booked the Maldives and watched it collapse from a sunlounger. My family runs its annual Christmas gathering, the way certain small governments run their administrations, through a combination of unwritten rules, selective enforcement, and a rotating cast of people convinced they hold more authority than they actually do. For 9 consecutive years, I had been the person who made it function. The house booking, the catering coordination, the airport runs for elderly relatives, the management of dietary requirements that multiplied annually and were communicated with decreasing advance notice. I did this not because anyone asked me to with particular grace, but because I was organized and because organized people in disorganized families tend to get handed things by default until the handing becomes invisible. The vote happened in a group chat I was removed from before it concluded. My cousin Rowan, who had appointed herself the family's emotional arbiter sometime around 3 years prior, had decided that my presence created tension. The specific tension cited was that I had, at the previous year's gathering, declined to pretend that my Aunt Sylvie's husband had not said something openly cruel to my partner at the dinner table. I had not caused a scene. I had simply declined to perform the amnesia the family preferred. Apparently this constituted disruption. 14 family members voted. The result was communicated to me by my cousin Dex, who had the decency to look uncomfortable delivering it. I thanked him for telling me. Then I opened a travel application and began researching. I booked 12 nights in the Maldives, an overwater villa, the kind I had seen in photographs for years, and mentally filed under some other version of my life. I arranged it with the same organizational efficiency I had spent 9 years applying to other people's comfort, and found that applying it to my own felt significantly better. I told nobody in the family. I did not post previews. I did not announce my absence or explain my plans or give anyone the opportunity to reframe my departure as a reaction rather than a choice. I simply removed myself from the orbit of people who had voted to exclude me and redirected the considerable logistical energy I had been expending on their behalf toward a beach that would not know or care about any of it. What I learned afterward came through Dex, who remained a reliable correspondent. The villa booking, handled for 9 years through a contact I had cultivated personally, was unavailable because nobody had maintained the relationship. Rowan had taken over coordination and selected an alternative property that turned out to be undergoing partial renovation, a detail buried in the small print that nobody had read because reading small print had always been my job. The catering arrangements collapsed on December 23rd when a supplier confirmed to Rowan's voicemail rather than a human being, and the voicemail was not checked until the morning of the gathering. My grandmother, who's 84 and has strong opinions about cold food and disorganization, made her feelings comprehensively known before the first course. 3 relatives asked where I was. Rowan's answer, Dex reported, became less confident each time she delivered it. I was, during this unraveling, watching the sun drop into the Indian Ocean from a deck chair with something cold and unhurried in my hand. I had eaten well and slept deeply and spent my days doing nothing that required me to manage anyone's expectations or absorb anyone's displaced frustration. I did not post photographs until I was home, at which point I posted just one of the view from my villa at dusk, with no caption. The message requests arrived within the hour. Rowan's came on day 2, running to several paragraphs, somewhere between explanation and recruitment. I read it with the same neutral attention I would give to any document that no longer had the power to obligate me. I have not responded. Next Christmas, I have already begun researching Japan. Kyoto in December, specifically, I have read that the quiet. There is a particular kind of quiet, the sort that accumulates in narrow streets and old wood and takes its time settling into you. I find I'm very interested in that kind of quiet now. I find I have a great deal of time for it.